So last year, the legislature introduced more than 2,000 bills. Just under 1,000 of those made it to the governor's desk, and roughly 800 were signed into law. And once those laws are signed, the question is no longer whether they're good ideas or bad ideas. The question becomes how they'll actually work in the real world. Today, I want to talk through a short list of laws that matter most. I'm going to start with laws that directly affect everyday residents, the kinds of things people will feel in their daily lives. Then I'll talk about a handful of laws that affect how cities operate behind the scenes. And finally, I'll close with a deeper dive on SB 707, which significantly changes the Brown Act and how public meetings work going forward. This isn't a political episode. These are laws that are already passed. This is about understanding what actually changes in 2026 and why some things feel different at the local level. I'll start with the one most people are already aware of, even if they don't know the details, and that's the minimum wage increase. California law ties minimum wage to inflation. It's not a discretionary decision each year. The statute sets a formula, and for 2026, that formula results in another statewide increase. If you are earning minimum wage, the impact is direct. Your hourly pay goes up. For a lot of people, that helps offset rising costs for things like groceries, gas, and rent. Where this gets more complicated is everything that happens around it. For small businesses, labor is often the single largest expense. So when wages go up statewide, businesses look at prices, hours, staffing levels, and in some cases, whether they can keep operating the same way they have in the past. So for residents, this often shows up as two things happening at once: higher wages on one side and higher prices or reduced hours on the other. Cities don't set the minimum wage, but we feel it indirectly. Contract costs go up, vendor pricing changes, and it can become harder for public agencies to compete for workers when private sector wages adjust faster. Minimum wage increases are intentional and meaningful, but they don't exist in isolation. They ripple through the local economy in ways that aren't always obvious at first.